John, that call for unity started as a plea for better cooperation between Republicans and Democrats, but there's growing evidence that suggests that the divisions within the GOP run deep.
Take the case of Republican Conference Chair Liz Cheney. Her decision to vote in favor of impeaching former President Trump has ignited nothing less than a firestorm. Fueled in part by relentless criticism from her fellow Republican Congressman, Matt Gaetz.
I think if Liz Cheney had a rally with all of her supporters, they could likely meet inside one of the elevators in the Capitol and still have plenty of room for social distancing. The truth is that the establishment in both political parties have teamed up to screw our fellow Americans for generations.
Gaetz says Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy needs to hold a vote on Cheney, and that, quote, if he doesn't, the Republican conference is a total joke. Also under fire, newly elected Georgia Representative Marjorie Greene. A recent video showing Greene taunting a survivor of the Parkland school shooting is landing her in hot water. She's also labeled House Speaker Nancy Pelosi as treasonous, calling for her execution. Democrats, including Speaker Pelosi, are slamming GOP leadership for not rebuking the freshman congresswoman's controversial past statements.
What I'm concerned about is the Republican leadership in the House of Representatives, who is willing to overlook, ignore those statements, assigning her to the Education Committee when she has mocked the killing of little children at Sandy Hook Elementary School, when she has mocked the killing of teenagers in high school at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School.
Pelosi, in pointed criticism of gun-toting members of Congress, says the threat isn't just from outside, but also lies within the Capitol itself.
We will probably need a supplemental for more security for members when the enemy is within the House of Representatives.
And Congressman Burgess Owens of Utah, a Republican, tells me that he's not taking a side in the dispute between Cheney and Gaetz, but he says that the Republicans need to come together to have a discussion about the future of the party, something that has not happened yet. And Owens is a former Super Bowl champion and NFL star, and he says that they need to work together, the Republicans, as a team to make sure they're on the same page in terms of their messaging, which he says should be focusing on getting people back to work, reopening schools, and also boosting the vaccine distribution in order for people to have more peace of mind when it comes to the coronavirus. John.
Now, Logan, that's one of the great things about having people from different backgrounds in Congress, like Burgess Owens here, who comes from a sports background, bringing a little teamwork to Congress. They can certainly use that. Thanks so much.